Let's see if this works.
I heard the news today.
Don't sing any copywritten songs now.
I'm not. God forbid.
All right. It looks like it's saying excellent. Excellent connection.
Excellent.
Excellent. So, okay, we'll give people time. The SeaTac is here. He's the #1 in the chat. Jennifer Delaney, Wiki Bobby. Cool. All right, there's a couple people.
That's enough. That's all we need.
Yeah. But let's give people more time.
I know.
Because the more the scarier, and we don't get much scarier.
Ain't that the truth?
Ed is here. Bruce is here. Neil.
Good to know.
Rebel Ghoul is here. Mom and I made it. Oh, she's watching with her mom.
Aw.
I hope you had a good trip to London.
Ooh.
She was away. She went to London.
Aye, aye, aye.
You'll be getting some kind of mail from me within the week. Oh, how nice.
Huh.
Maybe a postcard. I'd love to see a postcard. Yeah. Jennifer says, happy birthday to my favorite monkey, Grimm.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer. Oh, that's so sweet.
His birthday's Sunday.
Oh, shuckers. Yeah, you know. I guess you got to be born at some point.
She says, Rebel Ghoul says, technically my mom is watching with her mini monster.
Oh.
Aw, her little dog.
Yeah.
And Neil says, enjoy your birthday, Grimm.
I will. I got plans.
Cool. Yeah, we have some plans.
We have some plans.
We do. All right, so we'll get started in a few minutes here, guys.
Sure, yeah. Take
Marty's here. Naoko's here.
Oh, cool.
Yay. James Muscarella is here. He says happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you, James.
Travis is here.
I still got a
Greg's
couple more
here.
days, but...
Yeah, so his birthday's Sunday.
Oh, boy.
Sunday.
Ugh. Tell you.
John Biggins is here. Raymond's here. Everybody loves Raymond, right?
I guess so.
Or ramen?
I hope so. Ramen?
Raymond?
Ramen. Ramen noodles?
I just tuned in for the hair.
That's right.
It's actually going flat a little bit. Because it was more mighty earlier in the evening.
Yeah, when you first started,
it was like into the boom. Room, yeah, and now it's like creeping back down.
I'm like, oh boy.
I have to find some stronger hairspray.
Broke my concentration. Yeah.
I was like, what do you think of my hair, Grimm?
Boing. That was my big toe shooting up
my hair was taller than yours.
I know, but it works so good for you. We're like the 80s, like big hair.
Yeah.
Big hair's back, baby.
Well, you've got the big rockabilly thing going.
The pomp.
Yeah.
The pompadour.
Yeah. I don't know I don't know. I've got my own do going on.
You do.
Kind of like Dolly Parton tonight. Well, hey, she had big hair. It worked for her.
She had a lot of big things.
She had a lot of big things, yeah. A big voice.
Yeah, very big.
Yes. She has a big heart. Everyone loves Dolly.
Yeah. Something else big, I can't think though.
Yeah, big eyes. She has nice eyes.
She has nice eyes.
Ron says his birthday is Thursday. Well, happy birthday, Ron. Happy birthday early. It's lunchtime, says Naoko. Okay, guys, so let's get started.
What's for lunch? Anyway, yeah, Naoko. I wonder what she's eating for lunch.
I don't know.
Hey, everybody! Welcome back to another exciting edition of The Mummy the Monkey's Hairy Scary Hangover.
Yeah, what Grimm said.
Yeah, I guess something like that.
I'm Janet Decay, the mummy.
And I'm Grimm Gorri, the monkey.
And we're your hosts for this chat show. We talk about movies that we've seen recently. We talk about pop culture stuff.
Oh, the Catholic Pope culture.
No, pop culture. Comic book stuff. I mean, whatever we want to talk about that's nerdy.
Comic book stuff.
Yeah. If there's a comic book you read you liked, or favorite character.
True that. Okay, so what did you what's on the agenda?
So we watched a couple movies yesterday.
Oh, we did.
And I took some notes.
Did we watch them all the way through? I can't remember. Some of them we didn't.
One we didn't. One we did. So we watched, and these were on Tubi. We watch a lot of old movies on Tubi. And so there's some news with Tubi. There's some creators that send content to that app, to that Roku channel, Tubi. And some people are saying that they want to focus on their own original content and more series, more
Tubi
shows.
Does?
Tubi does.
Oh,
why? They don't think people watch movies on there.
What?
Isn't that stupid? We watch lots of movies on Tubi.
Hold it up. Wait a minute. Whoa.
Yeah, they're like CEO or whatever was saying that they wanted to focus more on shows, like series. I think they're trying to compete with Netflix or something.
To quote the Bone Jangler, whoa.
Yeah.
Wait up. Hold up.
Yeah, I love Tubi. And I love all the cheesy, weird movies that are on there.
This is good because
I did not know about this. Some of the weird indie movies. Yeah. It was on social media like maybe a week or two ago. I saw some people posting it. So they were concerned that because they're indie filmmakers, that they were concerned that maybe their stuff would get pulled from Tubi one day.
I could be wrong, and I don't work in their analytics department. I don't know how they forecast this, that, and the other thing. But this sounds like a classic case of something that's successful.
And then they ruin it.
Destroying the whole reason why they were successful.
Yes.
This happens all the time.
It's like when businesses just do some terrible business move and they shoot themselves in the foot.
But what? Yeah, and if anyone that we've... Okay, so that's the weird thing. People's eyes light up when you bring Tubi up sometimes. Okay, because of the movies they have.
I love all the old weird movies and the independent movies on Tubi.
And the rabbit holes, you can go down there. You think, it's the genre
if they want to do more stuff with shows, that's fine. But please leave the movies on there.
Don't get rid of that.
And let the creators, let the filmmakers, have their content on there.
I'd like to read. I need to know because there's a lot of facts I don't have in front of me.
Well, I don't want to mention names, but I saw some people share info about that. I'd like to read it because
I wonder if there's any.
There's some articles about it too.
Wow, that's news to me. But boy, I'm smelling a bad move here.
Yeah. Oh, John Johnson, thank you for the super chat. He says, I blame you guys for making me watch the Biscuit video. It's an earwig now.
An earworm, yeah.
Earworm. Yeah, he put earwig.
It could be an earwig, but anything that gets it. Yeah.
If it gets stuck in your head forever, it's an earworm.
Yes.
At least that's what I heard.
Earworm, yeah.
Earworm.
But earwig is actually an actual insect, but it doesn't matter. We know we're picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, but we get you.
Taste the Biscuit is totally an earworm, and I got it instantly. And I remember
Toaster and Moose.
Yeah, props to Toaster and Moose. But they performed
their reunion tour.
Yes, but I listened to it and I was hooked immediately. I was like, I had to know what the hell I was watching.
Yeah, and then we had to go and watch the movie.
And they
what was it called? Like Chickens something or other?
I forget the name of the movie, but
it wasn't like the movie title had really nothing to do with the movie. What was going on?
It's almost in the category of The Room. I think it almost has that type of thing where
it's amazing.
It's its own thing. It has its own center of gravity. It's very strange.
It's its own weird little strange world, and we love it.
And I had to understand what I was watching, and it was totally out of context.
Yes, so
isolated video.
Later on, check out Taste the Biscuit or Toasters and Moose.
Yeah,
Toaster and Moose.
Toaster and Moose.
Toaster and Moose.
It's totally like
there's an hour-long movie about their reunion tour.
It's almost like a
and then there's a couple music videos.
It's like a mockudrama, sort of like a mockumentary or whatever.
Yeah, but it's so fun.
A little lounge band that sort of has their. None of it's true, but again, like Spinal Tap, it's in the vein of that, but way low budget and
way dorky and fun.
And fun, but it's its own thing. But that one song, when I saw Taste the Biscuit, when they performed it in the thrift store,
it's perfection.
That's the first time I saw it. Was that one clip. And I'm like, what am I watching? Is this like a bad furniture? Like, it reminded me of those bad local furniture commercials.
Norton's Furniture?
Yeah, or, That one rapper guy.
It's just like a mini mall.
Yeah.
What was that?
That was,
it was for like a flea market. Something flea market. It was amazing.
I can't always forget the name.
It was some commercial and like, I don't It was
someone will know what we're talking about there. Yeah. But it's like bad dad rap stuff and everything. But anyway, we're getting off on a tangent.
We're getting
So hopefully, I don't know enough about the Tubi thing to comment on it now, but hopefully they're not doing that.
I'll show it to you later. But thing. There was something where they wanted, and they have now a thing on there called like Tubi Originals, trying to be like Netflix or something. Well, it's not going to work.
Well, here's the thing.
Just let the weird movies stay on there.
So, yeah, but this is a thing that all of these pay services have to deal with because that's what brings people over to your channel.
But they're not. Tubi is not a pay service. They probably want to make it paid later, but I don't mind the commercials because The commercials aren't too annoying. They just play like a few breaks here and there.
Yeah, but that's like commercial
and they're
TV.
still yeah, but it's not that bad.
No. But I'm saying
you're watching the movies on there for technically free, but so you watch some commercials, and the channel gets ad revenue.
Yeah, based on hopefully that the ad that you watch you'll go ahead and purchase something. That's the whole thing.
That's how ads work. Grimm.
I know. It's like a magazine or anything else. Yeah, I'm saying that so that there's no such thing as free anything. Someone's paying for that ad space.
Well,
you buy their stuff.
Yes, I understand that, but the viewer viewing it, they get to watch all of it for free if they can tolerate commercials. Anyways, so let's talk about some movies we saw on Tubi.
So go ahead.
We're looking through
But that was good. That was interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Castle of the Creep... Are you all right there?
You can handle it. Keep going.
Castle of the Creeping Flesh from 1968.
Hated it.
It was not very good. If Tubi got rid of that one, that wouldn't be too bad.
Well, it was one of those, what do you call those kind of movies? It was an early version of the, with the R word, was it?
Don't go into too much of that.
But it was a lot of that stuff. This obsession with, certain acts that aren't cool.
Okay. So
what's that?
Mad scientist
torture porn. That was a term you use.
It has some of the scenes
maybe not
are
torture,
cringy.
but some other stuff. Yeah.
So there's a mad scientist trying to revive his dead daughter and needs new body parts. So he shops around, and of course there's these youngsters that happen to show up at his castle, and they're like these hip college kind of party people, and this takes place in the 60s, so they have the beehive hairdos, that
didn't help the movie at all.
No, but it started out fun.
We shut it off. We didn't watch it.
The first couple scenes were fun. There was this mod kind of 60s party scene, and all the fashions and hairdos were amazing. So I'm like, oh cool, what happens next? And the rest of the movie kind of sucked.
We didn't care.
Yeah, I think we turned it off about halfway through.
And then we went to?
So it was, in my opinion, it was slow, kind of stuffy and snooty. Starts out interesting and then meh, And
I didn't know why you wanted to watch it in the first place. I knew right away when I saw the write-up for it.
Well, the title sounded cool, right?
No.
Castle of the Creeping Flesh.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. I don't think they knew.
They didn't.
So yeah, it was kind of a weird, cringy, pervy movie later on, and I didn't really like it.
Yeah.
So, okay, we watched an amazing movie later, but we'll talk about it in a few minutes. Let's read some comments.
Let's do.
Let's see. Bounce is kicking in, says Bob.
Oh, yeah.
If Tubi becomes paid, they owe me money, LOL, says Rebel Ghoul.
This is very mellow.
Insane J says Tubi is unique because of the weird stuff. Don't change.
Right. I mean, It's such a rabbit hole of stuff. I'm shocked by some of the stuff that pops up on there. I could care less about original programming.
Yeah.
You're taking a chance with that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But good luck.
David Hayes says, I watched The Stranger from Venus and Cosmic Man because YouTube put them on after your show last week. Oh, that's a good pairing.
Yeah, I guess what YouTube's going to start doing, putting out more of that kind of stuff.
Probably. Let's see. Jimmy K says, I just found out they're making a new Bride of Frankenstein. They're making a new Bride of Frankenstein?
I'll believe it when I see it.
I hope they don't ruin it.
Everything Universal's done.
I hope they don't ruin it.
Has just...
Well, technically, the first Bride of Frankenstein, they needed more of the bride in it.
There was barely any bride.
I was honestly, when I first... Even though it's a good movie and I do like it, I think it could have had more of the bride, for sure. She should have been involved more in the movie. No,
I'm looking... I guess there's information out there. We have to look it up.
We'll have to look it up. There's this thing. We'll have to goggle it.
Is it going to be Medea?
No. I don't think I could watch
that.
Why
not,
Gary Smith says, Norton's Furniture, if you can't get credit here, you can't get credit anywhere.
You can't get credit here. You can't get credit anywhere.
Nice.
Norton's Furniture. Yeah, good stuff.
Those commercials were great. They were on at 2 a.m. on local TV.
Speaking of that, I just got a bunch of... I'm out of control now with videotapes, right?
Oh, yeah, share your videotape story.
With VHS tape stuff. It's out of control. I've got way too many, and I keep purchasing them. So I bought a bunch of stuff recently from some guy that got a collection of Zachary, the cool ghoul from the New York area. There was someone that was doing. I know his name, but I'll just talk about it later. But there was a guy who was a collector and I guess a sort of a associate of John Zackerly, who played the Cool Ghoul, who was New York's big horror host since the 50s.
Oh yeah.
Guy who goes way back.
Oh yeah.
He passed away. When did Zackerly pass away?
Like, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago?
No, it wasn't that long.
Zackerly, yeah.
John Zackerly didn't pass away 10 years ago.
Yeah, within 10 years.
2014?
Yeah, that's 10 years ago.
Okay, maybe.
It's 2024.
That's
2014, 20.
I know that.
That's 10 years.
I know what year it is.
Yeah, it was about almost 10 years ago.
Wow.
I don't know the exact year. I'd have to look it up.
There were a bunch of videos. So this guy got a collection of the stuff that this guy taped, like at chiller conventions. A lot of footage from there. And I guess this guy wrote a book on Zackerly. The Z-Files, it's called.
Oh, nice.
So I bought a bunch of stuff. Spent way too much money on a bunch of videotapes. Actually, not that many of them. That's the thing. They were expensive.
Are you digitizing them?
I'm digitizing them. So that was my out of control spurt there. And then so that was just one thing. And I just bought like 25 tapes for a relatively cheap price.
Thank you, Bone Jingler. He passed away in 2016. So
Okay.
8 years ago.
Yeah. Not 10.
Well, I said about 10. Around
Close enough.
10.
Close enough. So anyway, so I bought a bunch of other tapes, and what we do when I buy these tapes, these VHS tapes, they have usually stuff recorded off of television.
Yes.
And I would prefer like Cleveland area stuff, but hey, you got to get what you get. This is from California. I've got a bunch of stuff that was taped in the early to late 80s.
Oh, okay.
And it's tough because not everything has commercials, but there are some commercials.
Yeah, it's neat to see the old commercials.
Because people still, man, they love doing that, pause button. Boy, that's killing me now. And even I did it in the 80s growing up, recording programs. The actual programs, unless they were like a local show or something, if it was like a national show or a syndicated thing, like a network show, it doesn't, if you have it without the commercials, it's just a show.
Right.
You can get those on DVD. There's no real...
But to see the in-between spots, the announcers, the little...
The national commercials are good, too.
The commercials, and then, like, the television channel bumpers.
Yeah. But so we're trying to put together... We have a thing called Rescued Reels project going on right now.
Yeah, so we have a separate playlist on our channel called Rescued Reels, the Rescued Reels project.
Rotten but not forgotten.
Rotten but not forgotten, yeah. Where we... digitize like found VHS, home movies, and I've been scanning 8mm film since October, and I've got quite a collection of them now.
And we still got so much to go through.
There's still more I need to scan. I've got
tape.
Probably 2 or 3 more boxes to scan.
Almost any kind of medium, every video medium, Super 8, or the camera Super 8's video disc. If it's recorded on anything, I just buy that stuff up. Slides, the old slides, all kinds of stuff. We have almost every format.
Yeah, I found some boxes of slides that I'm like, oh, I didn't know we had these. Here you go.
Yeah, vinyl records that recordable records. Those were a big thing back in the 40s and 50s, where you could record your own records. We've got some weird stuff on there. I haven't even heard any of this stuff yet.
And then the reel-to-reel audio.
Reel-to-reel audio. So we have so much stuff.
There's a lot.
So we are we're neck deep in this stuff now. We've got tons of material.
Yeah, there's some Cedar Point films, some some really
Which is
fun
an amusement
home
park
movies.
in Ohio.
Yeah, where they went on vacation to certain locations. Yeah. Like there's video of like the Cleveland Zoo in the 70s. It's cute.
So we try to put some of that stuff on our YouTube channel, but we're going to need a bigger venue to show more of this stuff somehow. But that's been fun and exciting, isolating all these old commercials. Some crazy stuff I totally forgot.
And John Biggins said that video on the guy who built the Big Chuck models was cool. He was so talented.
Oh, yes. Yeah, David Hayes.
And David's watching right now.
Yeah, he is very talented.
That's why I read that. I was wondering if he saw that.
It was great to see some of that stuff in person. I mean, the robot, the gas tank robot he built, the alien, that was really neat.
Yeah.
To see the little miniature he built of that, and then all some of the building stuff he worked on, some of the replicas of the old television stations. But yeah, some of the people we got to meet just doing this horror hosting thing, it's pretty wild.
It's cool, and I love hearing their stories.
Oh
I love when they share their experiences, like the stuff that they've done in the past.
So for us, it's like a behind the scenes thing. And I have to say that I don't know who's gathering. I can imagine who's over there doing it at the Monster Channel, but they're doing an awesome job at the commercials they're pulling. I don't even know where they're getting some of this stuff from. It's pretty cool.
Oh, those commercials are fun to watch. Yeah.
They're doing a real good job of making that channel feel like to me, it feels like a UHF channel back in the day, where they would show all kinds of different genres of movies, things like that. But good stuff going on there.
All right, so the other movie we saw this was on Tubi. We watched this. The Black Sleep from 1959. So it has, all the people. It has Lon Chaney, Basil Rathbone, Sherlock Holmes, Tor Johnson, the Swedish Angel, Bela Lugosi, Dracula. John
Carradine.
Oh, yeah, and John Carradine's in this. So there's a mad doctor played by Basil Rathbone. He tries to help his sick wife. And he's experimenting on people to learn more about brain surgery. So she has some brain tumor that's hard to get into. So what does he do? He's practicing on cadavers, practicing on victims.
But most importantly, he basically sets up this guy in the beginning, who's another surgeon, to be killed. Well, I don't know if he set him up, but he figured out this guy was going to be hanged for basically something that Basil Rathbone did.
Yeah.
They thought this doctor killed someone. Meanwhile, the guy, it was Tor Johnson. He wasn't dead. He was alive in a dungeon all this time.
Yep.
But this guy, Basil Rathbone, who played Sherlock Holmes, that you might know him from those movies.
Or Basil? Is it Basil or Basil?
Whatever. Isn't that Bela or Bella?
I've heard both. Well,
Basil is
Basil's a
yeah, it's a herb.
It's an herb.
Yeah.
A herb.
Basil Rathbone, I think you pronounce it.
Probably Basil.
Basil. But razzle dazzle Basil.
Yes.
But he saved this guy from being put to death by giving him this stuff called the Black Sleep, which is some sort of drug he got from India, I think, and it basically mimics death. It's like an anesthesia.
Okay.
And so they think the guy died of normal causes, so they go to bury him, but he's not dead. Basil gets him out of the coffin basically and says, "Now you're going to work for me, or because I saved you from being killed." And
Bela Lugosi, he just plays like a mute.
Yeah. Was this his last role? This movie?
Well, it said on Tubi that it was, but I thought his last role was Plan 9 from Outer Space because he passed away when they were making the film, and that's when they had to have someone else dress up like him.
Maybe he just wished he was dead.
So I think Plan 9 was his last role.
Technically, it should have been, but
on Tubi it said the Black Sleep was.
Maybe someone forgot to remind Bailey he was dead. I'm going to work today to work on the Black Sleep.
He was still trying to go to work.
He doesn't know.
But yeah, he doesn't talk in the movie. He plays a mute because he was one of the victims where they did some brain surgery on him and then he couldn't talk. They messed with his head.
Of course.
Literally.
Yeah.
They messed with his
that
head.
movie we watched all the way through. We'd seen it before, but you didn't remember it, so.
Yeah, after we watched it, I'm like, oh yeah, this does look familiar. We have seen this.
Yeah, it's a cast of characters.
I was like, ooh, what's this? Let's just watch a cheesy 50s movie.
At least you watch something that was decent, as opposed to, kind of cleared the palate a little bit.
Yeah, after that other movie, I'm like, I want to watch something kind of fun and cheesy.
Well, on the comic book side of things, I finished up the show Echo that's on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, I watched some of that with you. Was it good? Did you like it?
It was okay. I liked. I could whittle that whole thing down in probably to a 1/2 hour episode, and it would have been fine. It was a little drawn out, and I don't know. For me, I don't know. I liked what happened towards the end of the. I liked the Daredevil cameo in the first episode, the fight scene, really cool. But it was what it was. I think the main thing they were trying to address. Deaf people that are deaf in our society, and how and give them some equal time too. So I think mostly it was that.
Well, I think it's cool that because there are some superheroes or supervillains that
are blind or
they're
deaf,
blind or deaf, or they
they call handicapped.
They have
some handy-capable.
Yeah, where they're handy-capable and they can use their other senses. Their other senses are stronger, and it helps kind of make up for that.
Sure, and that's what this was. But the interesting thing about Echo, though, what I loved about it was her power. It's steeped obviously in native. She's a Native American, and she's actually she had all kinds she had a prosthetic leg from a car accident that she had when she was a kid.
So she had a couple different
and her mother
things
died.
Going on.
But the cool thing is that, and I'd like to learn more about this, is that they steep it in, I imagine, actual I don't know what tribe, but Native American lore, folklore, or things, because it starts with the original people, which were like Earth sort of. They were like Earth people.
Well, I think
they lived under the earth.
Wasn't she from Oklahoma?
Yeah, that's where the tribe was from. But
so we'll have to see what
Blackfoot, maybe. I forget.
We'll have to look up what tribes are from that area.
But there were the kind of like supernatural people that lived underground, and they actually had powers and stuff like elementals. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that eventually, I guess, part of I'm guessing, unless they just totally made it up, the elementals came to turn to human form after their world crumbled, and that's where these people came from. But what was cool about her power was that they showed different ancestors of her throughout time. Once back when it was like before they were colonized or people came over from Europe, they were like thriving. They had their own games and stuff like that, and so they showed one female descendant that was like this ultra athlete. It could jump around and do really cool stuff. Mm-hmm. No superpowers. They did hint a little bit of like some sort of that came from the elementals, a little bit of super strength, but most of it's just agility. And then one of them was her ancestors was from the Wild West, where she was really good with a gun and everything like that. So those things, and what they were saying is that all of her ancestors echoed into her. Like she got powers from each one of these.
So gained strength from
and different abilities from
her
different ancestors. And they all
okay.
But they did even something even cooler. And this might be a spoiler, but But if you're related to her, she could also imbue you with power because you're a blood relation. Oh. So there was this fight scene at the end where it was like the old mom was like kicking in people's butts.
Oh, because she gave her mother the power.
Yeah, she didn't go. It's almost like a puppet. She would actually be able to control her mother or give them a little bit of strength, and they would just throw people around. It was kind of cool.
That is neat.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't my favorite Marvel series, but it wasn't too bad.
It was at least entertaining, it sounds like.
And the Kingpin's involved in it, too. He took
the Kingpin's in there, yeah.
Who played by Vincent D'Onofrio.
She thinks that she kills him, but
yeah, that's happened.
He may or may not be dead.
That happened in Hawkeye series, I think.
Yeah, they show that a little bit in Hawkeye.
In the Hawkeye series.
The Hawkeye series was pretty good.
It was amazing. That was a good Marvel, yeah.
Okay, so let's look at the comments here.
But yeah, keep it going.
Bone Jangler says the Bela stuff in Plan 9 was shot before the Black Sleep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
Well, maybe he didn't shoot. They didn't like later on. They were going to go film the rest of the movie, and then Bela passed away.
Who knows? He didn't do much in either one. So
maybe that same year he was in both. Yeah, and then he passed away later.
That's probably yeah, but. I'm sure Bones is right about that.
Have you watched The Boys on Amazon Prime?
Yes.
Oof.
She don't like it.
I do not like that show.
I love The Boys.
I think it's really gross.
It is.
It's like
hands down.
It is too gross for me. Because when I think of a superhero, I think of them in a different way.
Yeah, me too, and I enjoy all those
And you
ways.
see these people and they're heroes, but behind the scenes, they're absolutely disgusting.
You don't think if human beings were really at superpower, like they wouldn't act this? That's exactly how they would act.
You hope that they wouldn't be that bad,
you hope
or would at least have some morals.
But what is power? Power doesn't have to be a laser beam that shoots out of your eye. It could be,
I mean, I hear you. But
we have power. People have power in this society that abuse it. Abuse of power.
Yeah, we know.
So I'm just saying. That this is just an amplified, exaggerated version of that, but it's fun.
Oh, it's gross. It is so gross.
What's good about it, it's not cookie cutter.
I hate all the characters. I can't like any of the characters on that show.
The closest thing to this before this was probably what was that one with the superhero movie, the goofy one with Ben Stiller, Mighty Men, or was it?
Oh.
Shovel Man and Angry Guy.
Oh, but
not Mighty Men.
No, it's not that. It's
someone.
It's from the 90s. Janine Garofalo's in it.
Yeah, and Ben Stiller's the main angry guy.
He just gets angry. I haven't seen that in forever. I loved that movie.
Mystery Men.
Well, they were not like.
It's sort of like that.
No, it's not that bad.
In that it's a.
They were more like geeky people. They were like kind of geeky, not very social. You're not picking up. But they weren't like.
It's not. I'm not comparing apples.
It wasn't like gross like that.
I know that. But I'm saying it's a different take.
Mystery Men was kind of fun and cute.
Right.
Yeah.
But The Boys is the opposite. But it's different than your normal superhero movie.
It is definitely different. I'll give it that.
It's a different take. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm saying that if you want to watch something fresh watch Mystery Men because it is so goofy.
It's so weird.
It's great.
Yeah,
I
need to watch that one again.
It's like Mad Magazine. And The Boys is like a whole different thing.
It's like if superheroes were regulated by the...
Well, they would have to be. They'd be basically weapons.
Yeah, because in that show, they're regulated by the government, and then they have like PR people. And,
it's exactly what. Exactly what would happen. Sponsored. They did a little bit of that in. Was it Mystery Men? Wasn't it? Didn't it start out with what's his name?
I haven't seen it in like 20 years.
That movie. Here's what's funny.
I need to watch it again.
You should, because what you said exactly.
The last time I saw that, I was.
What's that guy's name? Was it? It was a talk show host who tried to a late night talk show host guy. Not Craig Ferguson. What was his name? Craig Kilborn.
I don't know.
Craig Kilborn in the beginning of Mystery Man. Listen to this. It's awesome. You forgot about it? He plays a guy named, I think he's called the Champion. And he's got all these, like, his superhero suit is, it's like a NASCAR. It's full of logos. So then he's like this, like, shill for what he'll do. Whatever. He'll just slap your logo on him. He'll wear it.
Commercialized, yeah.
Yeah, super funny. And he gets killed in the beginning, and then I think there's some, but it's that, or what about The Watchmen?
I love The Watchmen.
Yeah, again, it's a different take on the superhero genre.
But you know my favorite superhero movie?
Greatest American Hero?
No, not that one.
That's not even a movie.
Sin City.
Oh, God.
Sin City is my favorite superhero movie.
Book adaptation.
Because it's...
I have to agree. That's pretty good. It's up there.
Like, very true to the original book.
They took the comic book.
Yes.
Pretty much.
And it was just
said,
absolutely
beautiful. Make the movie
beautiful.
look like this.
It was so beautiful.
You mean black and white?
And
yes.
The story was good. It was just like the book.
Not high contrast Frank Miller black and white art that he's famous
so
for.
So good. Yes.
It started with Daredevil, actually.
Yeah.
Look.
I love this. I love the Sin City movies.
And Ronin and all that stuff. But Sin City, the first, I like the second one too. A lot of people don't like the second one.
Sin City is gritty, but
it's very gritty.
The characters, the difference is, in my opinion, the characters are likable. There's some hateable characters too, but mostly likable characters. It has such a cool style, that noir style, that very artsy style. And I just couldn't
There's some
get into
people
the show The Boys.
There's likable ones.
I couldn't.
Starlight's likable.
Nah. Later on, I'm just like, eh.
Oh, there's some good ones in there. And it's different than the comics, too, which is, we don't have to get into that. But yeah. It's almost like what they did with Walking Dead, where the comics are a little bit different than the series.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So, that's my favorite.
That's okay. You're allowed to have a favorite.
Yeah.
You know? I'd say you give The Boys a chance.
Oh, and Brittany Murphy. Yeah, she's...
Oh, yeah.
She passed away.
Yes, she did. I don't know what year, but it might have been,
But yeah, she was great in that movie.
Yeah, Brittany was good.
And she was the voice of Luann from King of the Hill.
Your favorite show.
I like that cartoon.
Bobby?
But I also really liked Beavis and Butthead, and that's like such a dumb cartoon.
Both like Judge creations.
Yeah, but they're both fun. Okay, so let's read some comments.
Hey,
John Biggins says there's Superman cartoons on YouTube from the 40s. My grandson watches them over
Max
and
Fleischer.
over. Yeah, Max Fleischer. Those are
brilliant.
Amazing animation.
Brilliant cartoons.
Yeah. Fleischer animations are great. 300 was pretty good too, says Gary Smith. Yeah, 300 was alright.
Really yeah. It was really good. Well, Frank Miller, they based that on his adaptation.
It's true. Yeah, it had great visuals like Sin City.
Yeah. Yep.
It had a cool,
it was filmed the same way.
Like stylized look.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the Sin City story I liked better.
Sin City is brilliant.
Yeah.
It's a good comic. It's a great film.
Rebel Ghoul says Brittany Murphy was a treasure.
Oh, poor Brit.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even recognize her. I had to watch Clueless. I had to.
Oh, yeah, and she was on Clueless.
I worked on a Clueless game board a couple years ago for this as a freelance job. They were doing a Clueless game board. A game. Like a little board game. And I never saw it. I've never seen Clueless, so I had to watch it. I didn't recognize. She's a little bit built differently. She's like a younger...
She was a lot younger.
Yeah, before she got all weird. But, yeah.
And let's see. I'm looking through the comments here. I had the Beavis and Butthead video game for Super Nintendo, says Rebel Ghoul. So that game was tough.
who is that? Do you remember the name of that girl that we thought was Winona Ryder? We watched another movie on Riff Tracks.
Oh yeah,
called Earth Angel.
Earth Angel.
And it wasn't bad. It was kind of
cute.
Funny. Yeah, it was goofy. It had like on purpose. Obviously, Eric Estrada, Mark Hamill.
Yeah, Mark
Luke
Hamill
Skywalker,
plays like the nerdy guy.
Cindy Williams, and they all play. It's funny because this must have been like in the mid '80s, right? Mm-hmm. And they're all playing high school kids, even though they're obviously 40 years old. But it's kind of funny. But then later on, they, a girl dies. It was just
for like a few flashbacks.
It's
scenes.
a 50s thing going on, dance, like under the sea dance, like in Back to the Future.
Yeah.
A girl dies in a car accident, and like they fast forward to like
the 1980s,
when they're
present
older.
day.
Yeah. So Mark Hamill's like a school teacher now, and Cindy Williams is a mom, and Eric Estrada is like a delivery man or a guy that fixes furnaces or something, and I guess this girl's a ghost, the one that died in the car accident. She's trying to help a girl who we thought at first was. You said it was.
She looks like she looked.
What was her name though?
Rainbow
Harvest.
Rainbow Harvest.
Never heard of her before ever.
Her parents must have been hippies.
Has anyone ever
Rainbow
heard of
Rainbow Harvest? She
actress?
Looks like
Winona.
Yeah, she looks like Winona Ryder.
You thought it was her.
I'm like, is that her?
You like, is that Wish.com Winona Ryder?
Yeah.
And you're looking at her and you want to make it fit. It's just a little, but it's very close. But has anyone ever heard of her before? What's her name again?
Rainbow
Harvest.
Right? Yes, Rainbow Harvest. That's her real name.
Yeah, and I guess she did other stuff. I had to look her up, but doesn't.
Yeah, let me Google that real quick.
It doesn't ring any bells in my head. They said she was in a couple of TV show series or something, but you would think with a name like that, like River Phoenix, that would stick in your head. But poor Rainbow, I don't know if she's.
Let's see.
She's still around, I'm sure.
Yeah. So
Rainbow.
Filmography.
Yeah.
So she stopped acting in 1991.
Wow, really early. Probably because of Winona.
She was in an episode of 21 Jump Street.
21 Jump
Miami Vice.
Yeah, who wasn't in that show?
Let's see. She was in a made-for-TV movie called Fever. That looks like that was her last role.
She gives me fever. I wonder why she stopped acting.
She was in Earth Angel, a made-for-TV movie.
Was that made for... You're right.
Yeah, because it had that kind of vibe. So,
I couldn't tell. Wasn't a major motion picture.
Yeah, she wasn't in a lot of movies.
I wonder why she quit acting.
Maybe she wanted to pursue a different career.
Rainbow
Sometimes
Harvest.
that happens.
Maybe she invented Skittles. Taste the rainbow.
Bone Jangler says she quit acting at the age of 25.
Wow, that's early.
So who knows? Maybe she, wanted to do other things.
Totally escaped. That's why we probably never heard her. She didn't really work her name into a household name.
She was in a handful of things, and
her name's unique enough.
Then called it Dunsies. Yeah.
Rainbow Harvest. There you go.
David says Monica from Friends was in an early superhero group TV series, I think. Dean Martin's son was in it.
You talking about...
I don't know. I've never heard of it.
It was Courtney Cox?
No, Monica. Oh, that is Courtney Cox.
Yeah, what was the name of that? It was
Monica.
a science that. Oh, what was it
I never
called?
got into that show.
It was weird.
A lot of people like Friends.
I've never seen
one
episode.
I was never a big fan of it.
I care less about Friends.
It just wasn't really my thing.
I don't like or Seinfeld. I don't like that. But oh no, what was it called? My science? No, not science. Something.
My Science Project.
My Science Project.
She was in that one.
That was it was like they were like superheroes. It was kind of a cool show. I'd love to watch that again. Is that what it was called?
Bob says Misfits of Science.
Misfits of Science. That's it.
No, My Science Project is a different thing. That's a movie.
No, Misfits of Science is the Courtney Cox one.
Oh, okay. I never saw it.
It was a TV show, and they were like superheroes in high school.
Oh.
It was Misfits of Science. Thank you.
That sounds neat.
I looked that one up. I'd love to find that. Yeah, boy. There's a lot of weird 80s shows that were out. The Phoenix was another one that was kind of weird.
I don't remember that one.
He was kind of a superhero guy, with a plain clothes guy, but he was like an alien or something, or from Atlantis. And there's Man from Atlantis. That's another one. We started watching that.
Yeah, that one was okay, but then we watched a handful of episodes, but then later on it got kind of dumb.
Well, as Tony Beller, our friend Stellar, Tony Beller said when we posted that we were watching that, he goes, "Oh, you want to beat that guy? Just lock him in a closet." Because he was amphibious.
Oh yeah, because he needed to be in the water. He couldn't be out of land.
And every episode he was getting locked in a closet.
Yeah, and for every episode they were trying to lock him up somewhere.
Or he'd get stuck, like the door locked behind him. He'll die if he doesn't get in the water.
So yeah, it got after 5 episodes of that. Yeah. I'm like, okay, how do
you stretch this out? But I don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's a lot of weird stuff that was in the 80s. The Wizard, that's another cool one. It's with Billy Barty, who's a little person.
Yeah.
He played, you probably know that name. He was
in a lot of different movies.
He had his own show in the 80s called The Wizard, and he was like a tech guy. He could make gadgets and stuff like that.
Well, there was also a show in the 80s, Mr. Wizard.
What was that?
It was teaching kids science.
Yeah, but that was that's not a.
It was an educational show.
It
It wasn't a drama.
was an
educational show. It wasn't a drama.
Small Wonder. But she wasn't a superhero, but she was a robot. AI stuff. Early AI show.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Some guy created a little girl robot.
She's like a little robot girl.
Yep.
Yeah.
That
I remember, like, you showed me some of that, and I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah. And they just had weird concepts, like, what was that one? Susan Slept Here, I think it was called.
Marty says, Janet, did you ever get to see On Borrowed Time over the holidays?
Oh, I have it. Don't tell her about it.
No, we didn't watch it yet.
Oh, so who remembers that?
We wanted to and then forgot.
Who remembers that, Marty?
Marty, yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it. We'll maybe watch it this weekend.
Maybe.
I have it on ready to go. Yeah, I wanted to watch it.
You never know what we watch. What we're going to watch next.
We still need to watch The Shape of Water.
Yeah, we haven't watched that together.
I know that's been out for 20 years now, but
I know. $6 Million Man was a cool superhero, says Victor.
Yeah, a lot
of people liked him.
So comic books and superheroes have been obviously popular since the 30s. But it was very expensive to try to replicate any of that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So they'd figure out another way to do it, like bionics, where you didn't have to show anything. It was just a guy who said he has implants. Obviously, he can lift up trees but you didn't have to show him flying or anything like that. They always figured out a way to skate around a lot of the effects. Mm-hmm. Even Spider-Man, when they did the TV show, the Spider-Man TV show, when he would shoot the webs, it was literally a rope.
Yes.
That was like stuck to the guy's wrist.
Yeah.
And we would spin webs that looked like rope web, but they could only do what they could do.
There's a lot of movies I still need to see.
Oh, me too. And it's not getting any easier with all this stuff coming out.
It's just there's too much all at once.
Too much good stuff is a problem.
Well, there's a lot of bad stuff too. Because I'll be like, oh, this movie looks good.
Yeah, but that's all the old
Put
stuff.
it on Tubi, and I'm like, oh, this is crap.
Well, that's the cool thing though, is that if you watch a lot of old movies, a lot of old movies aren't that good. That the craft got better, and there's a lot
of old movies that are good.
There are.
I have a knack for finding the really bad ones.
You do. Every time we say pick out a movie, you're like, I'm like, oh boy, here we go. But hey, I don't pick all winners either.
Well, yeah, Steven Seagal. Come on.
That's a guilty pleasure.
Those are all bad.
That's a guilty pleasure, though.
They're all bad.
Yes, I know this going in. No one's ever going to beat the guy up. He never gets hurt. It's like Chuck Norris almost.
Mm-hmm. Travis says those Japanese Spider-Man did a lot better and got a giant mecha.
Way different.
Yeah, he had a robot.
Way different show.
That was a fun.
Didn't have it here.
Yeah.
But, I've seen clips of it. Then there's the India Spider-Man and Superman.
Yeah, like the Turkish Spider-Man. He had like the curly-toed shoes and like.
And they're dancing and they're flying. He could fly too.
He could fly.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Or is it the Bollywood one?
Bollywood.
That might have been the Bollywood
one of them
version.
could fly. It made no sense.
Oh, those are amazing.
Hey, it was interesting.
Some of those Bollywood movies are so fun.
Our favorite one was
which did we watch? Was it?
We own it. We have it.
It was a scary movie.
It was Nightmare on
Elm Street.
But it's a Bollywood Freddy Krueger.
It was Bollywood Freddy Krueger.
We have to dig it up.
And they did like singing and dancing in between.
I'm about to take you and dance.
Yeah, and then they had like this romance story in between. And then Freddy would go and like kill one of them.
It was weird, but totally trippy.
But it was really fun to watch.
But it was amazing.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Some of those are so fun to watch.
Yeah, and sometimes
because it's neat to see things from other cultures and to see like their take on things.
Yeah, and the fact that they would want to even do that.
The fact that they even care or like the scary movies.
That's gotta be.
And it's like, oh, cool, you like scary movies too.
Well, sure, and then why not emulate the things that that's pretty.
So
cool.
then they add their own little like flavor to it with like the singing and dancing and like a romance story in between.
Stuff you would. Genres collide. Boy, that's the Bollywood does it best.
Mm-hmm. And they're like the second biggest, are they the first biggest? Hollywood and Bollywood are like the two big studios in the world.
Several billion people.
Yeah.
That can consume that
That's true.
Product over there.
That's true.
But none of that comes over here. We barely get any Bollywood.
No, we don't get to see all that.
The foreign cinema does not, or music even, that too.
I'd be interested in seeing more of the pop music and rock music from other places
too. But this country, our entertainment's probably our biggest export.
Probably.
It is. It's got to be.
Yeah. Our movies and music and
Everyone knows all this stuff, but we don't know any of their stuff.
Well, I guess we should.
There's got to be an Indian equivalent to Taylor Swift, but you don't know who she is.
Well, thanks to the magic of the internet.
But still,
we could look it up sometime.
Well, why doesn't it just permeate? And the closest thing we ever get was like with K-pop.
Oh yeah, that's been big. Like some of the Asian pop music. Yeah.
But now they all got drafted into the Korean Army.
Well, the one band did. Not all of them.
I'm joking. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
The KTB or whatever they were called.
Oh, I don't know. I don't.
To be continued.
I don't keep up with all that.
It should be TBC, to be continued.
I'm not that cool. I don't keep up with all that.
That's how crazy, right? You have to go join. You have to join.
Well, every place is different. Okay, so let's see. More comments here. Julie Newmar, my favorite Catwoman. Julie Newmar's great, but I love Eartha Kitt. She had
Batman.
Eartha Kitt had the voice.
Hello, Batman. Eartha Kitt here.
Yeah, Eartha Kitt was amazing.
Batman.
All day with that voice, really?
She was cool.
I can't find my hair clippers. Where are they?
Oh, God. Eartha, you know
and
where they
Michelle
are.
Pfeiffer made an awesome Catwoman, too.
It's Michelle Pfeiffer. Thank you.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
I don't know, man. That would be that's a tough one.
They're all cool in different ways. Like each Catwoman brings something different to the table.
If you had to choose, if you were a guy and you had to choose, I don't think you could go wrong with either one of them.
Yeah, they're all great.
Newmar, Kidd, Pfeiffer.
And Batman. What about all the different Batmen?
Ugh.
Adam West?
No, nobody wants that guy.
He was cool, though.
You've got to see what makes you...
Michael Keaton was pretty cute.
Really? You don't like George Clooney with the head cocking Batman?
No, I didn't. I think Michael Keaton made a good Batman.
He was a nipple Batman. No, Val Kilmer was a nipple.
Val Kilmer was nipple Batman.
Yeah. Nipple man.
Is that the same one with the bat skates?
Yes, the horrible. She was a Joel Schwartz.
Is that the one with Mr. Freeze?
Yes.
I tried to forget that movie.
I want to say the F word so bad. But
I tried to forget it.
As a fan. And
there's the F word, forget. You want to forget the movie.
Yes, you could see exactly what was going on.
Yeah.
Somehow the whole Tim Burton, maybe the best thing Tim Burton ever did, besides Nightmare Before Christmas, was the Batman stuff. Those two movies are great. Christopher Walken as the bad guy, he was good, the second one. But then they just said F it, and they just made any piece of garbage.
Oh, Bone Jangler says, and Travis, Mr. Freeze is Clooney Batman.
Okay, I don't...
Yeah.
Like, Batman and Robin, was Clooney, right? Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Look.
David Hayes says, Julie Newmar always wanted to get with Batman, and when Batman asked what they would do with Robin, she would say, we could kill him.
There you go.
Wow. Hey, she was vicious.
Dick Grayson. Oh, come on, man.
Julie Newmar was feral.
It's hard. It's. I don't think you could go wrong. But I mean, if you had, how do you choose between that? It's like choosing between. I don't know. That's not.
They're all
fair.
good in different ways.
It's not fair.
Well, on that note, guys, I am one tired little mummy now, and I think I want to sign off soon.
That sounds like a good idea. We've been through a lot tonight. No, but we got better with you guys. Thank you for hanging out with us.
I think the Harry Scary Hangover chat was a lot more interesting.
You were into it, yeah.
Than the movie. Or the lack of movie.
Well, it bummed you out, but we
it
picked
did.
it back up.
Honestly, it bummed me out. I'm like, really?
But thanks to you out there, you helped her get out of her little
thanks for chatting with us. Thanks
and
for hanging
Louie's
with us.
here too.
So if you like these kind of shows, if you like our live streams and our uploads and all that stuff, you can hit that like button. It helps with the YouTube algorithms. You can also hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already.
Yes, sir.
And I think, any last words, Grimm?
Any
final words for the evening?
I hope everybody has a good weekend, and hopefully we won't be on next Friday because we're doing a convention.
That's
the next
right.
day.
So we're going to be at Monster Fest Mania next Saturday. So we won't be live next Friday because we have to get everything ready for early in the morning for Monster Fest.
When we do come back, we will be sure to have everything, all the ducks in a row, everything everything
to
good.
the best of our abilities.
Yes. And we'll hopefully see you then at the Hangout. If we don't see you next weekend at the Monster Fest Mania.
All right, guys. Well, good night. Good fright. Mwah.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop.